Most people fail at fasting, not because it doesn't work, but because it's miserable. They start strong, they get hangry by day 2, and decide the whole thing must have been invented by sadists or something. But the truth is, fasting doesn't have to feel like punishment. If you've ever wanted the benefits of fasting without the brain fog, the crash, the mood swings, then this is your guide to doing it right. If you've been following the channel for a while, you've probably noticed a pattern. In a lot of our videos, whether we're talking about brain health, insulin sensitivity, how sleep cleans your brain, the timing of eating keeps showing up. And most of these strategies naturally create a kind of intermittent fasting rhythm without ever calling it that. So today, we're finally pulling all of these threads together, kind of a realistic, flexible way to fast on purpose, without the suffering, without the rigid rules, and without kind of the misery that sometimes comes with it. I want to note that this video has 2 parts. The first part is going to be the meat of the matter, right? Like why fasting works and why many fail to do it consistently. And then in the second part, and I'll put a timestamp here, I'll walk you through a simple 7-day fasting without misery challenge, a realistic way to test what kind of fasting rhythm actually fits your life and lifestyle. All right, why fasting works minus the hype. So let's keep the science kind of short and human size. So fasting works because it gives your body time to switch between energy systems. Fasting works because it lets your body stop managing incoming food for a while and switch into cleanup mode, right? Burning stored fuel and repairing what's worn. When your insulin levels drop, you open the door to fat metabolism. So inside your cells, your little maintenance crews, right, your mitochondria, get to cleaning up and repairing things, right? And that's what keeps energy steady and aging slower. You don't need to memorize like enzyme names or molecules or anything like that. All you really need to know is that fasting teaches your body to run smoother and cleaner, but only if you actually stick with it, obviously. All right, there's typically 4 reasons why people hate fasting, and there's 4 common threads of what typically goes wrong. So first of all is they start with a 16-hour fast on the very first day. You know, that's like running a marathon after running around the block twice. Your body kind of panics, you know, your cortisol spikes, and you crash. Start with 12 hours, right? And then build up gradually. Add an hour or 2, you know, as you get along. The second thing people get wrong is they ignore sleep. If you're exhausted, fasting just becomes another stressor. Fix your sleep first, and you'll notice your hunger pangs calm down dramatically. Third thing I see, people running on coffee fumes, right? People are drinking 5 cups of coffee on an empty stomach. It just turns straight into anxiety. It's awful. The fourth thing people do wrong is they break their fast with junk. Basically ruins the entire benefit. Don't start your breakfast with pastry and orange juice and donuts and things like that. Keep it clean. There's kind of 2 patterns that people can fit into their lifestyles. Real people, right? Not lab subjects or anything that people can actually live with. And model A is sort of the late breakfast plan, the skip breakfast, if you will. And that when you finish dinner around 8, skip breakfast, and then eat again around noon. That's a 16-hour fast. It's probably the easiest to follow because you still, you know, get to share dinner with your family or your friends. So in this one, you just kind of wake up, hydrate, slide right into work or your exercise or whatever it is that you're going to do in the morning. So model B, and this is one that actually works better for me, is where you skip dinner instead of breakfast. So mornings are definitely my own strong suit. So what I do is I eat strong breakfast and lunch, you know, pretty sizable too. And then after 3, I just don't really eat anymore. I fast through the evening, and then by the morning, I've got my 16 hours. Biologically, this one actually scores a little bit higher, right? Sleeping on an empty stomach actually improves rest and glucose control. And also, most people's metabolism is a little bit hotter in the morning. So the trade-off is that there's a little bit of a social life impact, right? You're refusing dinner invitations. You might not be eating dinner with your family. So break it up. Maybe during the week, do the skip breakfast fasting, and on the weekend, do whatever you need to do. Okay, so now part 2. In this part, I'll show you exactly how to make either plan work. You know, what to drink, what to eat, how you eat, and kind of a 7-day on-ramp that trains your body to fast without being miserable. All right, let's think about how to make either of those 2 plans work in the real world, like without spreadsheets or supplements or self-loathing or anything like that. First thing you should do is stay well hydrated, right? Most people feel like they're having hunger pangs when it's just thirst in disguise. Start your day with water, put a little lemon in if you want, or a pinch of salt, whatever. Think of it as oiling your engine before the drive. Second thing is eat real food when you eat. Fasting is not a free pass to eat junk like for 8 hours between your fasting windows. Break your fast with protein and fiber. I don't know, chicken and greens, or eggs and veggies, or salmon and rice, right? Just not Danish and pastry. You're refilling and refueling, right? You're not rebelling against the fast. Stop eating 3 hours or so before bed. Your stomach should not be open for business when your brain is trying to power down. Late night eating messes with sleep and blood sugar and makes the whole fasting much more difficult and less productive. And then fourth, stay consistent. Even if you're not perfect, right? Like if you can do it 80% of the time, that will help shape your biology. Fifth is treat hunger as data, not as an emergency. So whenever you feel a hunger pang, it's your body, politely knocking on the door saying, hey, we're kind of accustomed to having food at this point in time. But I'll tell you what, you don't need to run to the fridge every time that your body knocks. It's just data. It's definitely not an emergency. So pick the plan that fits your lifestyle, right? For busy professionals, probably skipping breakfast is the best. If you're an early riser or something like that, maybe skip dinner, during work days, and then eat in the morning and the afternoon. If you're an athlete, you should probably train after eating, right? Not train on an empty stomach. But do whatever it is that works for you and something that you can keep up for 6 months or so. Let's look at what to kind of expect in the first week or two. By day 2 or 3, you'll might notice some light fatigue or mood dips. It's just your body learning to burn fat instead of snacks. By day 5, probably your energy begins to level out. And by the time that you get to week 2, you'll have clearer mornings, steadier focus, and if you're skipping dinner, you'll probably have better and deeper sleep. It's not magic or anything, it's just your metabolism finding its new rhythm. So days 1 and 2, do a 12-hour fast. Right? Days 3 and 4, ramp it up to 14 hours, and then days 5 through 7 and beyond, do the normal 16-hour fast. And whatever time slot you pick the one that you feel is right for you. I may make a little tracker or challenge guide that I will put down in the comments if you would like to download it and kind of keep track of your fasting effort. So look for it there. Also, if you enjoy these kind of videos, if you like, easy to digest help, consider subscribing. I think next week we'll probably look at strength exercise in midlife to kind of prepare you for when you're in your 70s or 80s. I think we'll call it maybe midlife muscle, right? The 5 moves that keep your 70-year-old self independent, or at least that's how I have it in my mind right now. Work that we do now to make our final decade as good as it can be, and hopefully also as late as it can be. So anyway, this is Tim. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.